Welcome back to Writing Tutorials. Today, we're diving into something really useful for both students and teachers, a recommendation letter for a student applying to a university program. If you're a teacher or professor who's been asked to write a recommendation letter, this guide will help you break down each part of the letter step by step. Or, if you're a student, this is a great chance to understand what makes a strong recommendation. We'll go through a sample recommendation letter, looking at each paragraph closely so that you know exactly what to include and how to phrase things in a way that's meaningful, professional, and tailored to showcase the student's strengths. Let's get started. Letterhead or sender's information. To begin, let's look at the top of the letter, which includes the sender's information. This sample letter is written by Dr. Sarah E. Thompson, a professor of biology at Cityville University. We have her contact information, including her department, address, phone number, and email. Listing this information up front is essential in any recommendation letter. By providing this information, the admissions committee knows exactly who is writing, and it shows that the letter comes from a credible and reliable source. If you're writing a recommendation letter, make sure to include your title, department, and contact details so the recipient can reach out if they need any additional information. Date. Next, we see the date, November 1st, 2024. Including the date is important for documentation purposes and helps establish a timeline. When you're writing any official letter, especially recommendations, including the date is a small detail that keeps your letter looking organized and professional. Recipient's information. Moving down, we see the recipient's information. Here, it's addressed to the admissions committee at Greenfield University in their Office of Admissions. Just like with any formal letter, you want to specify who the letter is for. In many recommendation letters, it's common to address it to a general committee rather than an individual, as it's likely to be reviewed by multiple people. This part is important because it shows that the letter is specifically tailored for this application, and it helps avoid any confusion if the letter is shared within the admissions team. Greeting or salutation. Now we have the greeting, which here is simply Dear Admissions Committee. For a recommendation letter, a formal but friendly salutation is best. Dear is a classic choice that works well for most formal letters. If you know the exact name of the person or head of admissions, it can be even better to address them directly. This respectful greeting sets the tone for a professional and sincere recommendation. Subject line. Now, let's look at the subject line, Letter of Recommendation for James M. Anderson. Including a subject line gives the reader a clear idea of what the letter is about right from the start. This helps the admissions team know whose application this letter supports, especially if they have a large volume of applications to go through. In general, a subject line should be concise but specific. Mention the student's full name and the purpose, which is to recommend them for the program. Opening paragraph, purpose of the recommendation. In the opening paragraph, Dr. Thompson introduces herself and explains her relationship with the student, James M. Anderson. She writes, I am honored to recommend James M. Anderson for admission to the undergraduate program at Greenfield University. Starting with a positive statement, like I am honored or I am pleased, sets a warm tone and shows that this recommendation is genuine. Dr. Thompson then gives context by mentioning her position and relationship to James, explaining that she's known him as a student in her general biology and advanced genetics classes over 2 years. If you're writing a recommendation letter, start by stating your connection to the student. Mention how long you've known them and in what capacity, as this immediately establishes credibility. Students' academic strengths and skills. The next paragraph dives into James's academic strengths. Dr. Thompson writes, James consistently demonstrated exceptional academic abilities, a commitment to learning, and an impressive aptitude for scientific inquiry. When you're recommending a student, it's helpful to highlight their academic strengths. Here, Dr. Thompson mentions not only James's strong abilities but also his commitment and curiosity. Each of these qualities is valuable in an academic setting and lets the admissions committee know that James takes his studies seriously. Specific examples in the classroom and labs. Dr. Thompson then gives specific examples of James's accomplishments in her classes. She writes, in my general biology course, James quickly stood out as a top student, earning one of the highest grades in the class. She also mentions his enthusiasm and curiosity, adding that he frequently participated in discussions and helped peers during lab sessions. This level of detail really strengthens a recommendation. Specific examples, like earning a top grade or helping classmates, make the letter more personalized. If you're writing a recommendation, try to recall particular instances where the student went above and beyond. Independent research project. In the following paragraph, Dr. Thompson describes a significant achievement. In advanced genetics, James continued to excel, undertaking an independent research project on genetic mutations in fruit flies. She explains that the project required dedication and attention to detail and mentions that it was published in the Student Science Journal. This is a powerful example because it highlights James's ability to handle complex tasks and showcases his commitment to his field. Publishing a project, especially as an undergraduate, is impressive, and including this detail adds weight to the recommendation. For writers, mentioning any unique achievements or projects will make the letter stand out. Soft skills and extracurriculars. Next, Dr. Thompson touches on James's contributions outside the classroom. Beyond academics, James is an active member of our campus community, serving as vice president of the biology club. She adds that he organizes events to promote the biological sciences and describes him as empathetic and respected among peers. Including information about extracurricular activities gives a more well-rounded view of the student. Leadership roles and community involvement are qualities that universities appreciate, as they show that the student can contribute beyond academics. When writing a recommendation, highlighting a student's soft skills, like empathy or teamwork, can add depth to your endorsement. Conclusion: strong endorsement. In the closing paragraph, Dr. Thompson provides a strong endorsement. I am confident that James will be a valuable asset to Greenfield University's academic and social community. She highlights his academic achievements, dedication, and passion, which will make him a positive contributor. When you're wrapping up a recommendation, it's helpful to summarize the student's key qualities and express genuine confidence in their potential. This final statement shows that Dr. Thompson fully supports James's application, which can make a big impact on the admissions committee. Offer to provide further information. Dr. Thompson ends by offering to provide further information. Please feel free to contact me at 555-987-6543 or sarah.thompson@cityville.edu should you require any further information. This is a standard closing that shows openness and transparency. It's a nice touch in formal recommendations, as it reassures the recipient that the writer is willing to discuss the recommendation further if needed. If you're writing a recommendation, including this line is a good practice that makes the letter feel professional and complete. Signature. Finally, we have Dr. Thompson's signature and her printed name and title. This small but important detail makes the letter official, reinforcing the formality and authenticity of the recommendation. And that's it. A complete breakdown of a recommendation letter for a student. By following each of these steps and including detailed, specific examples, you can write a recommendation letter that's thoughtful, informative, and impactful. I hope this guide has given you confidence in crafting a strong recommendation letter. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more writing tips on writing tutorials. Thanks for watching and see you.